So when I was growing up, I heard a number of people saying, "What is the recipe of success?" Or "This is the method to the madness." And I used to wonder, is there really a recipe to success, a method to the madness? And guess what? When you try and carefully look at the pathways, the journey the successful people have taken, you will find a pattern. And if you're interested to know that, come on, join me in this journey with today's episode with our guest speaker to get to know those little hints of a fulfilling and successful career. Okay friends, so this season I'm on a hunt to find out those hidden gems all over the world who are young or even who are young at heart, who have made it big and they are satisfied and fulfilled. In today's episode, I invite Anirudh Dharmagadi, who is an Indian entrepreneur, and he is a growth junkie, passionate about scaling businesses online. Currently, he's on a mission to launch, incubate and scale DTC brands for Godrej, a leading FMCG brand in India. So join me in welcoming this entrepreneur who has worth 12 years of expertise in scaling consumer tech business, cross-functional team leadership, performance marketing, content marketing, social media strategy and much more. But more than that, a true human being at heart who knows what it takes to be consistent and sustain in his profession. Anirudh, welcome on my first step ever.
Thank you, Shani. It's a pleasure to be here.
I am extremely excited to have you on this show because I read somewhere in one of your posts on LinkedIn that you had said, as an entrepreneur, you often find yourself in an unfamiliar, uncharted territory, which can be terrifying. The only way to keep making progress is to keep taking small steps forward. And that is what this show is all about, helping and inspiring listeners across the world to take that small step to reach towards their goal. So, on that note, Anirudh, I wanted to ask you my first question. When you were in your high school, or maybe when you were in your university, when you were just starting to set out for your career, start working, did you ever have in your mind that you wanted to be an entrepreneur, or did that just happen naturally?
So, as a kid, I was very uninspiring, right? In the sense, I was very headstrong, and I really didn't think a lot about my career. The only thing which I used to question a lot of stuff, like the existing way of work. I used to try and find ways to optimize whatever I used to do, and that used to give me a lot of pleasure in improving, right? Like improving whatever I'm doing. For example, as small as if we are taking a route to our college, so I used to find better routes. So that's from the smallest thing to obviously improving on the overall curriculum or whatever it is, right? So those that kind of specific optimizations were of great interest to me. Uh, but entrepreneurship was never really on the radar for the longest time because I never really thought about it at that point of time, and it really happened to me only when I started working, and I thought that if you really want to change, right, it's very difficult to change an existing big setup, right? So if you want to really drive change, it's when you start off completely new from the scratch, and that's when you start to build something completely unique, and that's when the center entrepreneurship came through.
Interesting. So, what I see from your journey so far, that you worked for about few years in one of the companies, leading a media company in India, and after that, with your experiences forward in marketing, now you are a full stack senior marketing and growth consultant, and you have been in this profession for the past 11 odd years. So when you first thought of opening your own venture, what was your first thought in your head, and did you have any fears at that point in time?
Yeah, it is terrifying, right? In the sense, you obviously are leaving the comfort of a lot of things from a salaries perspective. More than salaries, it's entrepreneurship is always some lonely. You don't have the group of friends slash colleagues who kind of partake in your both enjoys and whatever complaints you have against the organization. You don't have a defined path you can take. Everything's open. So once ambiguity is one of the most difficult things you will encounter, at least in your professional life, where the path is not charted out. So, and that's exciting as well, but that's also terrifying in most of the times. So that is what it is, and at least for me, it has been a pretty interesting ride because, as I said, after one point of time, especially in my career, what I really understood was that there was so much of learning and knowledge which I can use for the benefit of others. And that's when I wanted to start off this consulting kind of gig and then go into establishing my own firm eventually. And again, that was a very sequential kind of step, right? In the sense, for example, when I was talking to a lot of folks inside the industry itself, I kind of figured out that there is definite knowledge gaps, and there was already inbound inquiries for helping them out set up businesses, scaling their businesses both online and from a both business and marketing standpoint. So I kind of ventured out. I did some kind of consulting gigs, small consulting gigs, and tried to hit. So what we call it as product market fit, right? You whatever you do, you need to see what is the product you're selling and if that is actually in line with the market expectations. So the product I'm selling was my own services. So I was just testing it out and seeing if that is in line with market expectations. And I kind of found out that it was in line. It's a very agile kind of setup which you have in mind, which is more like um, hypothesize, test, analyze, iterate kind of philosophy, right? So that you kind of apply to every single thing you're doing in life. And that's when you kind of do rapid iterations and finally start scaling businesses, especially when it's in such an ambiguous environment.
Definitely. I mean, the one thing that you mentioned it is definitely an ambiguous environment, and I think it has multiplied because of COVID, what has been going
Yes.
on since past 1 year now. I would like to get back to one thing that you mentioned early in your career stage, that you said that you already had that urge, or maybe that eye for detail. As you mentioned, even to go to your university, you used to find the shortest route, so you had that curiosity, that will to learn or innovate. So that
Yeah.
was a thing that you already had. And I just wanted to highlight that point, because a lot of listeners who are listening to us today from across the world, they're from different age group, and especially for our young listeners, they might have a lot of talent within themselves. They have qualities, but this is the platform where maybe you can tell us that how can one identify their qualities, their strengths, and how can they apply in their career.
That's pretty interesting, right? I guess most of us, or from the education system we are in, so what is how do you succeed in life, right? No one's perfect. A lot of people, everyone has flaws. So especially from the education system, what do you focus on? If there are strengths and there are weaknesses, you generally focus on your weaknesses, saying, okay, I'll improve on my weakness, right? I'll improve a bit more on your weakness, a bit more on weakness, and try to get more rounded personality. But if you look at people who are extremely successful, they're extremely successful in just one small dimension of their life, or because of that one small strength they have better than everyone else, right? So I would rather, so what I've kind of realized early on in my life is that you rather double down on your strengths rather than focusing on your weaknesses, right? So for example, if there's something which you feel you do better than everyone else, push the boundaries of that to an extent where it kind of starts shining out, and that's where you make success, right? Yes, for example, let's say you have 10 traits and you're just great in one trait, and you're maybe better than most of the people in the second trait, and 8 traits you're really worse off. Do not focus on that, right? So obviously, because as the world gets more and more competitive, it's not just great to be average. If you're average in 10 things, then you won't cut it, right? If even if you're great in just one thing, that's where you kind of taste success. And almost everyone else, not everyone else, right? Every single person understands what they're good at and what they're not good at. And unfortunately, we are trained to just focus on things we are not good at, right? Overemphasize on things which we're not good at. But what we need to do is that we only need to focus on our strengths and try to really hit it out of the park in that space, right? And that's when you start seeing tremendous amount of progress.
That is a very essential point that you have made over here, because that is the normal way going forward. We usually tend to, improve on the areas that we feel it's very challenging. I mean, that's good to do, but you should also be very mindful of what your strengths are, because
Yep.
that's where the opportunity lies, as you said, very rightly said, Anirudh. So, with your entrepreneurial venture ahead, I would really like to know if there's an incident or any project that you had taken, if you can share without much details, if that's okay with you, which was extremely challenging. Maybe briefly, you can tell us very challenging and the top three things that you learned out of it. The reason I ask you this question, because people who are listening to us, if they're just starting out, even at uni, if they're doing any volunteer work or they're
Yeah.
taking part-time job or internship, they will face the first-time challenge in different areas. So I'm really sure that they might be able to gain something out of your experiences as well.
Yeah, so in the sense that there are a lot, right? One thing which you need to understand, and again, something which we are not trained to do, is to be okay with failures, right? Because if you are doing something which you're not familiar with, and you're doing in an area where you're not familiar with, most often than not, you're going to fail. And that's completely okay, right? Uh, I guess most of us are so afraid of failing that we don't even choose that path. But growth always occurs in the space where you're uncomfortable, right? Like if you go, why do you go to the gym and push yourself? That's when your muscles break down, and that's when you build that muscle. So, and it's the same thing with careers as well, right? And your entrepreneurial journey, or even if you're working somewhere. So firstly, you should not be afraid of failing. And secondly, let's take a particular example. For example, the current project I'm working on, we need to hit, we are at, let's say, X, from a top line perspective, and we need to close at 200X by the end of this year. And if you ask me, do you really know how to get there? I don't know, right? But that's the nature of the game. Like, you need to do whatever you got to do, and the best thing is not really get bogged down by those massive goals. Just take an extremely practical, what do I need to do today, rather than what I kind of need to do for the year kind of approach, right? And if we have collectively more good days than bad days, most probably or not, you will get at least close to the goal, rather than, maybe if you might still miss the goal, but at least you'll get closer to the goal than you ever will be, right? And the second thing is that you need to surround yourselves with people smarter than you, right? So that is another very, very important thing, so there's a fundamental shift in the way people work, at least now, compared to earlier there was a lot of random competition, people not really sharing stuff. But if you look at how, especially the open source culture, which had started off in the tech world, and now it has percolated to every single part of, like, every profession, right? Like, the people are more than happy to share knowledge. They're obviously more smarter people than you are across the world, right? And in every sphere. So what the smartest thing to do is to learn from other people's mistakes and take insights from other people's knowledge, right? Because you will never be, you'll never reach the best in a particular field, because there's always will be more and more people coming in and understanding different facets of the game. So the smartest thing to do is to network really well and to learn from other people and not really get bogged down. And that's one thing which I've seen, especially in a country like India, which really happens. But unlike the West, people are very happy to share, very happy to network, but still it's very nascent in this country.
Yes, that's a great point that you brought up. Before that, I would just like to touch upon all the three points that you made, that one should not be bogged down with the failure. The second thing that you mentioned was regarding having good people around, networking and learning from others' mistake. It is really challenging. Even if you have all the knowledge, what matters is how, if you've really executed it, if it has worked for you. If not, what has gone wrong, then how do you correct? My next question to you, Anirudh, is more that I see you have a mindset of a winner, because winners always experiment. And I don't mean winner in the sense that you do not fail or there's no failure. I mean, that is all. Failure is a big part of your winning story, because that's how you said that you learn from it. So how do you create this mindset for yourself, Nirod? If you can tell us, what do you practice in a day, or do you have a routine? How do you strengthen yourself from within so that you can face all the uncertainties that come across at different times in different area of your life?
I look at it from a week or a month perspective and say, am I better than what I was a week ago or a month ago, right? And better can be in multiple ways. It's not just a professional. You need to understand that again, the mistake which I made early off is I looked at my life in silos when I saw, hey, this is how my physical health will go, this is how my mental health will go, and this is how my professional or my personal life will go, right? But more often than not, actually everything is interconnected. So even if there is dissonance in one part of your life, it will impact everything, right? That's number one. If you think about yourself, you're your own boss as well as your own employee, right? In the sense, when you're talking, you're giving yourself tasks and the, hey, you're supposed to do this is my, I don't know, new year resolution, or this is what I'm supposed to do. I have to hit gym 5 days a week, whatever it is, right? So but that rarely happens, because unfortunately we go to the extreme. Whenever we set goals to ourselves, we go to the extreme and make it extremely difficult for us to even achieve that, because we always think about the most ideal point, right? Rather than thinking about your most ideal point, think about what is something which you would enjoy doing, right? For example, if you wanted to chart out saying that, hey, how would I want to chart out a very happy day for me, instead of saying the most ideal. So you would most probably say that I will work for 10 hours a day, then I will go work out. I don't know what your ideal day will look like, right? But optimize for something which you enjoy doing, because success comes from repetition, right? So it's not important that you had one ideal day, but if you had 100 days which you kind of have implemented whatever you want to do, even at a lower pace than what you would have, that gives you exponential kind of returns, right? And you'll also be surprised how efficient you kind of get once you kind of have that plan in mind.
Anirudh, that was really great point that you made. Success comes from repetition, or success is repetition, and it that is the most difficult thing for anyone to do, because we want everything to happen like this. I mean, for me as well. Initially, I was like, I have been doing this for a few days, for a week. Why doesn't it work? Because it doesn't work that way. You really have to take small steps each day, and have for you, like it works for you keep a month or a few months schedule for yourself, and then you measure how your success, have you reached that point, have you not. So that's another very important point. Just before we leave, I really wanted to ask you, what would be your top 3 tips to your younger self? That is a kind of population who is
Yeah.
really listening to us right now, and I think they're the ones who really need to have some good guidance around, or maybe have some sort of friendly tip from people like you who have really made it.
So I don't know. I when I look back at high school and the things I missed, right? Firstly, try to experiment a lot, right? Don't stick to your guns. For example, if don't be siloed into one thing. Again, if for example, don't just study. Right, that is definitely one of the big mistakes I made. I was just too lazy back then. I didn't experiment. So go play, like, I don't know, 4 different sport. Uh, do go travel in and around, make a lot of friends, right? And and also try to, because especially that time there was no internet. Right now there is a lot of interesting stuff which you can do and can learn. Try to connect with the right kind of people. Try to connect with as many people as possible, because and also keep those friends which you have from high school for the rest of your life, because trust me, as you grow older, making friends become more and more difficult, right? And those are the kind of folks you kind of want around in your lives. But one important thing, apart from everything, is that try to figure out whom you want to model yourself up to, right? Like, ideally, if it's a real life person, it's even much better, right? For example, let's say you like Elon Musk, great. So read more about him. What does he do? What kind of drives him, right? Try to model yourself around what his personality is. Or if you like, I don't know, if you like someone else like Jeff Bezos or someone else, right? Anyone in the world. So it'll be interesting if you kind of read what they have done, what struggles they've gone through, how they've like made it there, right? Obviously, if there is one Elon Musk, there are a million Elon Musk who have not made it, right? So you need to be cognizant of that fact as well. But it's always good to model yourself against true real life personalities. Yes, there would be a lot of host of stories which you read, and fictitious characters you would love to be based yourself upon. For example, someone told me that they want to be Batman, which is good, right? Batman stands for a lot of virtues, but it's good that it's always good to model yourself against true human beings, real life heroes, because they've also failed, right? It's not like they've not failed. So yeah, that would be one advice, I guess.
It's a very good note that we're ending on my first step ever today, which is concentrate on maybe answering this question, who you really want to become. And before you leave, Anirudh, are you able to leave our listeners with a quote or a saying that you have really resonated with so far?
It's always important to move forward, right? Life will give you great joys and great turmoils as well, right? There would be a lot of ups and a lot of downs. The more you aspire, by the way, the more you aspire, the bigger dreams you have, the bigger successes and bigger failures you will have, right? But the most important thing is to move forward no matter what happens. So yeah, that's what I kind of believe in.
So that was Anirudh from My First Step Ever, and this is our second episode, and I'm signing off for today. And please follow us on Spotify, Google or Apple Podcast. Also, if you have any comments, you like to give any feedback, or if you really like to listen to someone, please follow us on Instagram, myfirststepever_IN, and let me know. And before I take a leave, I would like to say, start believing in yourself, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself.